What's going on, everyone? In today's video, we are going to talk about Virgin Galactic stock. I want to take you back to December 3rd, 2019. At this time, Virgin Galactic was a newly listed company on the stock market, seeing a low of $7.30 and a high of $7.47. And what was going to happen next, very few people could have predicted. Now, Virgin Galactic currently trading at $37.30, seeing a very wide range during a trading day that would have easily netted you over a 400% return. A lot of people think this stock is just getting started. So what I want to talk about in this video, guys, is Virgin Galactic stock still a buy here into these highs? We're going to kind of go over the management team, what this company does, what we can look forward to around earnings. We're just going to take a nice round fundamental look at this company and talk about, is Virgin Galactic still a buy here in these $35+ levels. Now, I'm almost kind of scared to publish this video because by the time I publish this video, this stock could be at $50, $60, $70, or who knows, it might be back down under 20. Very, very high risk, high speculation stock that is growing day after day. It just seems unstoppable at this point. Now, what I do in my course, guys, I aim to get in these positions before the big move happens, so make sure to check out Trade Alerts Pro. It is the first link in my description box. We actually made an alert on Virgin Galactic, ticker symbol SPCE, on the 23rd of January when it was trading around $18. Now, since that time, we've made some adjustments to our position, but we had almost immediate success from the time we've bought. There's even certain techniques you can have to own this company for free, and I do share a lot of those cost protecting techniques in my course. Make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video. I appreciate all the support, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. There is a couple things that make Virgin Galactic extremely unique and well positioned in this market right now. For one, this is the world's first commercial space line. What they aim to do is give people an opportunity to fly to space simply by buying a ticket. Now, there's a lot more to it than that. Obviously, this company was founded by Sir Richard Branson. We are going to get into the management team here in just a moment. And right now, Virgin Galactic is still in the research and development part, in the earlier stages of the company, okay? Now, what really separates Virgin Galactic on the stock market from any other company is that it's the only publicly traded space exploration company currently on the market. Now, it is competing with the likes of SpaceX and Blue Origin, but like I said, those companies being held privately does not give investors an opportunity to buy into all the excitement right now. So by default, if there is a place in your portfolio for space exploration company, then Virgin Galactic is getting your buy. So it would be impossible to talk about the management team without talking about Richard Branson, or what some refer to as Sir Richard Branson. This man is the true definition of an entrepreneur. I could probably branch off and make an entire video just detailing the elaborate business ventures this man has been involved in. He's currently 69 years old, and his net worth is roughly $4.1 billion. And Richard Branson really got his start being an entrepreneur by launching the Virgin brand, which shortly became Virgin Records. And so we can fast forward to more modern day. The Virgin Group employs nearly 70,000 people in 35 countries through its 60+ different types of companies, including records, airlines, wireless communication, radio stations, hotels, health clubs, financial services, renewable energies, renewable technologies. He had a Formula One race team, and his latest venture is this space tourism company, which we are talking about today, Virgin Galactic. I have the website listed here. Let's go check out the management team, take a little bit further look at them. And like I always try to mention in my videos, this is something that comes with time. All the years that I've been involved in investing in the stock market, the more important these type of things are. Getting to know your management team. There's not a lot of household names in the Virgin Galactic team, but you always want to be checking credentials. You always also want to be paying close attention to who the company considers assets, who they consider them liabilities. Sometimes it takes a couple changes to get it right, get the company moving in the right direction. Now this here, George Whitesides, I'm going to talk about him briefly for just a moment. George served as Chief of Staff for NASA before he came to Virgin Galactic, and upon his departure from the American Space Agency, he received the Distinguished Service of Medal, and that is the highest award the agency offers, okay? So now with that said, that does not mean he's going to revolutionize Virgin Galactic into the greatest space exploration company on the earth. But in a case with a company like Tesla, or like let's say Square, or a company that's going to significantly change the future, Virgin Galactic definitely falls into that category. I think it is very, very critical if you're going to be a long-term investor to get to know your management team and continue watching moves in and out of these companies. I can think of a couple stocks that we cover on this channel. They've had significant management changes over the past year or two. This has made great impacts to the upside or the downside, okay? So all the optimism and all the stock market presence is pretty much set in place. This is the only publicly listed space exploration company currently, and what they want to offer by 2021 is 90-minute rides into kind of the lower atmosphere of space, so people can experience the weightlessness. People can also experience seeing the Earth from a spacecraft. Now, let's talk about some of the negatives. Let's talk about, even though this stock has took nearly a 400% run, why it is most likely due a strong correction. And I think even with saying that, we can still maintain a bullish stance, because this is going to be a battle between, do they have any money to report at earnings, against the demand from the stock market, okay? So just because they may or may not have a stellar earnings report, that does not mean Virgin Galactic is necessarily going to shoot down to $15 or $20 again. Just something to keep in the back of your mind. If you're going to own this stock, you're going to go along with it. My suggestion is to expect volatility for about 2 years, because that's when they're expecting to be profitable. Then we can kind of hold them more liable for those type of statements. One thing I really want to talk about, guys, Virgin Galactic did not have a traditional IPO, okay? They actually went public through a reverse merger with a blank check company called Social Capital Hedosphere. Now, by going public in this capacity, really helps them out and can also hurt them as well. Let me explain. If by going public like this, they have bypassed some of the strict listing requirements for the New York Stock Exchange. Now, one of the advantages to not doing an IPO, you don't really owe yourself to any underwriters, and you won't have a lockup expiration period. So what that means is that the underwriters usually sell within the first 6 months. You know, every company has a different lockup expiration date. Virgin Galactic can bypass that. However, I don't think that they're going to be exempt from the IPO hangover, okay? So we all know what we're talking about. We can go back and talk about Uber and Lyft, all the IPOs in 2019. They all experienced the IPO hangover around 4 to 6 months after they were listed, okay? They had big sell-offs. Now we're starting to see some of those stocks recover. And I think if you're going to own Virgin Galactic over the next 2 to 3 months, and if you really want to be safe about it, let's say 6 months, you can probably expect some very, very high amounts of volatility in the stock. Another thing to keep in mind, like I already mentioned, this company has virtually zero revenue at the time of its IPO in October. Now, despite not generating revenue, they've earned $7.2 million in net income because of the interest gained from the marketable securities on its balance sheet. Furthermore, the marketable securities worth $677 million are short-term treasuries in a trust account. Virgin Galactic inherited them when it merged with Social Capital, but how will these funds be used? Will they benefit investors, or are they some part of obscure financial engineering strategy? Now, these articles are published so that stock market goes bearish on Virgin Galactic, gets away from the stock, or they start loading up on put options expecting a big move down. I'm not necessarily going to disagree with that. I'm just going to forewarn, the demand is certainly there. This company has piqued everyone's interest, and when investors and especially institutional buyers see a company that's standing all by itself, for example, Virgin Galactic being the only publicly traded space company, I think the demand is going to continue to be there, probably for a long period of time. Even me and some of the people in my stock market course have made a nice trade from this stock already. Now, Virgin Galactic, they make no mention of using the trust account to fund business operations, and with only $48,000 in its operating bank account, it will almost certainly need to rely on share dilution to generate capital for the foreseeable future, especially if management pushes back the timeline for EBITDA profitability. So again, keep those couple things in mind as well. You might see massive share dilution, which will cause a big sell-off. And right down here is probably the most important thing I'm going to tell you about. It is the 22nd of February today. They have their earnings report on the 25th of February. So we're really going to get a good look if this is just a house of cards or if they have some actual reportable numbers. And unfortunately, guys, there's really no reason of looking at the fundamentals of this company because there's really nothing to look at yet. We've got to let an earnings report or two come in and get a look at guidance forecast before we can make a decision on that. As of right now, all the excitement is there, and let's say you have a 100 or 200% return, you might want to consider selling your position and waiting for a pullback. So is Virgin Galactic still a buy here at the $30 level? Let me try to do my best to answer for you. If you're watching this video before the earnings report on February 25th, my suggestion to you is just wait till that earnings report comes in. Let's kind of see what happens. Right now, this company has an almost $3 billion market cap. I think if the market starts getting bullish again, it will run past that. We're only a couple of days away. My suggestion is to be patient, let that earnings report come in, and see what kind of results we get for now. Keep in mind, the harder they run, harder they tend to fall as well. So 400% return in such a short period of time, you do have to be realistic about things. There is not a natural growth in this stock. This has been demand driven, and investors are just experiencing a lot of energy for Virgin Galactic. Now, we don't really know what is or isn't going to be on those earnings reports, okay? We're not going to know until they come out. So I'm not necessarily calling this stock a sell either, only if you have a big return. If you have I think if you have a 200% return on this stock, you're kind of being greedy by not selling at least half of your position. But we really don't know all the details of their financial data, and until we do, we cannot make an educated guess on it. We could also just assume that this stock will just continue to run. In my opinion, wait till after the earnings report, let the short-term volatility hit this stock, and then it won't be long until people, if it does take a big sell-off, it won't be long until people start buying back in, because keep in mind, it's the only publicly traded space exploration company on the market right now. So with that said, guys, I'm going to end the video. There's no fundamentals to really look at right now, and perhaps later in this week I'll make an update video after Virgin Galactic reports earnings. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to drop a comment and tell me your thoughts and opinions on Virgin Galactic, and keep in mind, if you want more help with the stock market, or you want to get a daily trading alert system with long-term investing, options trading, and cryptocurrency trading, make sure to check out my course, Trade Alerts Pro. It is the first link in the description box.